What's happening, everybody? Here we are, another Thursday night of the grind. Yes, I was gone the last 2 weeks, um, but I am back. Here we go. I got a lot of cool announcements tonight. But first of all, let's start off with some of our advertisers. First up tonight is our good friends over at Stellar Customs. You know these guys, Rich Cozy, Stellar Customs, the home of the all carbon fiber windshields for your motorcycles. It is awesome, awesome stuff. You've got to get with them at stellarcustoms.com, or you can get them at Stellar Customs on Facebook. You can get them at 331-551-2560. And be looking. We're going to be doing a product review of Stellar Customs here in another couple of weeks. So anyway, check them out. And when you do, let them know Kevin with the Grind sent you. Next up is our good friends over at North DFW Trailers, right there in Denton, Texas. North DFW Trailers on Facebook, and you can get them at 214-205-6787. They do everything from renting trailers to selling trailers to outfitting trailers to make them custom for your needs. They are awesome people, awesome deals. Hell, I bought one of their trailers. You got to get one too. But when you do get a hold of them, let them know Kevin with the Grind sent you. Next up is my good friend over at Hopkins Design. You know Earl Hopkins, the guy that did the 2021 Grind National Biker Build-Off documentary that is currently on YouTube for free. You got to go check it out. If you need anything, web hosting, printing, branding, video hosting, original artworks, drone footage, anything you need for anything, Earl Hopkins can help you at Hopkins-Design. Reach out to Earl at hopkins-design.com and let him know Kevin with the Grind sent you. Next up, now this is something cool right here. So check this out. hellsspeedshop.com, home of the pearl snapped flannel, badass to the bone flannel shirts. They have a brand new one coming out right now. I should be getting it in about another week or two. I will be doing a product review of their stuff too, so be checking for that on YouTube. That will be exclusively on YouTube. That's what that one's going to be on. But these guys have hats, t-shirts, custom one-of-a-kind flannel shirts, small runs. You got to get with them. Go to hellspeedshop.com, and when you place an order, let them know Kevin with the Grind sent you. Next up, our good friends over at Throttle Monkey Custom Cycles in Chicago, Fat Tire Kits, Plug and Play Audios, Bike Audio Experts, full custom builds, front and rear air ride systems, apparel, helmets, riding gear, hell, anything you possibly need. Get with them. Throttle Monkey Custom Cycles.com. Next up, everybody knows this guy, Mr. Gary Dubois over at J&D Custom Polishing and Plating. Man, I don't care who you are in the motorcycle industry, everybody uses him. The best chrome plating I've ever seen, hands down. I use him. He is amazing. Chrome plating, polishing, anything you need to get done, get with him. J&D Custom Polishing and Plating, right there on Facebook, and let them know Kevin with the Grind sent you. Next up, Legacy Bike Works right here in Manville, Texas. Legacy Bike Works does everything from fat tire kits, air ride systems, audio, stock, mild, wild, anything you could possibly want. Full custom builds, full custom fabrication right here. Legacy Bike Works in Manville, Texas. Check them out at Legacy Bike Works on Facebook. Next up, our good friends over at Indiana and Northern Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine. Y'all know Marsha Fitzpatrick. Check her out. Go get you a subscription to Indiana and Northern Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine. And when you do, let them know that Kevin with the Grind sent you. Next up, American Drag Seats. AmericanDragSeats.com. American Drag Seats /Attitude Inc. on Facebook. And American Drag Seats on Instagram. Check us out. Anything custom motorcycle seat, upholstery, leather tooling, inlays, exotic leathers, anything you possibly want. Custom motorcycle seats is the name of the game with American Drag Seats. Hit us up, AmericanDragSeats.com. Last but damn sure not least, our good friends over at Urban Rides Magazine. Urban Rides Magazine, established in 2019. Mr. Daniel Roby and Jason Silman. Y'all keep Jason in your prayers. He was in a bad motorcycle accident. He is alive, but he is in some pain. Keep him in your prayers. Go to urbanridesmagazine.com and get you a subscription. You can get them online, or you can get the hard copies and have them mailed to you. But whatever you do, go get it and let them know Kevin with the Grind sent you. Okay, so we got all that taken care of. What I need you guys to understand, and I'm letting everybody know, is we finally, after an entire year, decided to take the 2021 National Biker Build-Off documentary and land it on YouTube for free. It's for free. The only thing we say is, man, go watch it. Hit the little bell in the corner to get the notifications and subscribe to the page. When you subscribe to the page, man, we got a lot of cool shit coming in the future. We're going to start doing product reviews. There's going to be an address you can mail. If you have a product and you want us to review it, all you got to do is mail me the product. Tell me what it is. I will review it on YouTube. It will be there. T-shirts, hats, motorcycle parts, stereo equipment, anything you could possibly want in the motorcycle industry. You want me to review it, send it to me. We will do a YouTube live. I don't want to say live, a YouTube review on your product. Second thing is, you can watch us live right here on Facebook every Thursday night. You can watch us live on YouTube Thursday night. But as soon as the live is over with, the YouTube live is going to go away. Now, don't fret. The good interviews, we will be taking the interviews. We will be editing those videos, and then we will be re-uploading them the next week in a shorter format so that we can get all of the unnecessary out of it and get down to the meat and potatoes of the interviews. Please go over to the YouTube channel, which is the Grind Biker Build Off, and it's on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Watch the videos. Leave a comment on the videos and hit the little bell in the corner so that if we ever do anything, you will get a notification that we are live. So here's the deal, people. I have a good friend of mine that I got the pleasure of meeting in 2019 in Daytona. Y'all seen him on here before, but tonight he's got to get something off his chest, and that is Mr. Jeremy Valentine with Joker Cycle Works. Everybody, please say hello to Mr. Jeremy. What's up, buddy?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. So I'm excited because I saw your video last week or the beginning of this week, and man, you were bowed up about something. Won't you let everybody know what got under your skin so bad? What happened?
I was actually in Daytona, and I got a message from my buddy up here. He's like, "Hey, there's a dude on Facebook blowing you up, man. Like, not good." And I was like, "About what?" He said, "Some Springer front end that he bought from you that you didn't ship him." And I said, "I'm not selling a Springer front end." So he screenshotted it, sent it over to me. Basically, guys went on. He has to be friends with me on Facebook already to get the information he's got. So I've been deleting people if I don't know who you are, or if I haven't done any kind of motorcycle discussion with you or met you in person, or if I look at your page as a friend and you don't have a motorcycle interest or a mutual friend, I'm deleting you. And no offense, it's just the way it is. I got to protect my brand. So he's taking pictures off my personal page, and he's created a new page, and he's supposed to be in Rhode Island, I believe he says now, and he's selling antique motorcycle parts underneath my name, not the shop name, just my name, using my name to sell the parts. And he's getting money and taking the money and not sending parts, and everybody's calling me, blowing me up about it, which I feel horrible about. Obviously, I have no control over it. I went ahead and messaged Facebook, had everybody that seen my post kind of share it, that it's not me, it's a fake account. I got an email back from Facebook that said that he's not doing anything wrong. He hasn't broken any of their guidelines. I don't know. I mean, I've been kicked off Facebook or put in Facebook jail for just talking shit to a friend as a joke. So I don't understand how he's getting away with what he's doing. So anyways, I've had a couple of guys call me. best thing I can say is, I was thinking of ways to get the word out there, and I know you have followers, so I asked to come on, but I want people to realize that the world's full of thieves and scammers at this point. I mean, it's out of control. Um, it seems to be happening to everybody, whether you do bikes, cars, mini trucks, boats, it doesn't matter. People are just doing anything they can to steal money. So make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you're getting a hold of the person who has it for sale. Don't just trust them because it came back messenger Jeremy Valentine. Not my shop number is posted all over the internet. It's posted all over my personal page, my shop page. Anything I sell personally will be sold on my personal Facebook. It'll be sold on my Instagram page, and it'll be sold um, via Facebook Marketplace. And I don't change my profile pic. So I was trying to think of a way I could protect people. The best thing I can do is call the shop, call my number, and ask me if it's for sale. And I'll be honest with you. I've had three in the last week. Guys call me and say, "Hey man, do you have a 60 panhead transmission for sale?" No, I don't. I said, "I'm sorry, but don't send your money to that guy." All right, man. Thanks for your video. That's why I called. And I feel bad because people work hard for their money, and you know, guys like myself, I work out of my shop. That's at my house, but I've been doing this for almost 17 years, trying to build a good reputation for myself. And it pisses me off that somebody would stoop as low as doing that to steal money from hardworking folks.
Dude, it's been happening to me for like the last 6 or 8 months. Dude,
Yeah, it's bullshit.
The Rockstar that I built, dude, they've got the wheels, they've got the motor, they've got the exhaust, they've got the gas tank, the seats. They're going to my page and getting pictures of seats that I've done, and then they're trying to sell them via pictures. And dude, I keep catching them. And I'm like, dude, it's gotten to the point now, the community, every time this guy does it, he throws that stuff up there. Hell, the community is attacking him way before anybody can ever even get a hold of me. So, dude, everybody's got your back. Now that we're privy to this happening to you, dude, it'll be so easy to spread the word. I'll put it out there and let them know, hey, there's a way to get directly a hold of you. And don't be buying parts via the internet. If you're going to buy a part or you're going to do business, you need to hear this man's voice and make sure that's his voice. That's the dude getting your money. That way, you know you're going to get the right part. You know you're going to get your money's worth.
The only account, I mean, I have, a Venmo, Cash App like everybody else does. I got PayPal. My PayPal email is my Joker Cycle Works email. So if it's anything other than that, there's no way it's me. And generally, I mean, I just sold an engine to a guy in Missouri, and I created it and shipped it for him. And he's seen all this happening, and he messaged me and he goes, "Hey man," he said, I sent him pictures of it getting looked, I taken off the back of my van and everything else. And he even messaged me, he goes, "Hey man," he goes, "I just want to double check that." I go, "Yeah, dude, you're good," because we talked on the phone about the shipping, who we were using, everything. So I just don't like seeing people getting screwed over. I don't want to be screwed over. And just do your due diligence to protect yourself. For anybody, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I mean, Kevin doesn't sell seats for $100, full custom seats. I don't build custom bikes and sell them on the internet for $3,500. 60 panhead transmissions that are good to go don't sell for $500. It doesn't happen. So I'm not saying nobody can ever get a good deal out there, but do your due diligence to protect yourself. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So, okay. Now on to the next topic. I need everybody to know Jeremy is going to be our guinea pig. Jeremy is going to be the very first live video that's going to get basically deleted off of YouTube, edited, and then rebooted next week. So everybody that's watching the video, your numbers are growing again. Dude, I don't know what you tell people to watch this show, but your numbers exceed everybody's numbers, dude. It's awesome. But anyway, you're going to be the very first edited video, live edited video on our YouTube channel. So just want to say thank you because you knew that already.
Yeah, I don't know why either, man. My mom probably puts it and has all of her friends get on there or something.
Yeah, y'all go watch my pretty little boy. He's doing
Yeah,
it
it's probably something
again.
like that. But no, I appreciate it. I mean, any publicity is good publicity as long as you're not stealing money from people.
All right.
I don't like that publicity at all.
Yeah, no shit, right? So dude, tell me about some of the cool shit you've been doing. You've been doing a lot of cool stuff this last year.
Last year was insane, man. It was great. It was a good time. I let myself get behind at the shop because everything I was doing. But I built the bike for Randy over at Cycle Showcase St. Louis. We unveiled that bike there. The bike got great reviews. Everybody loved it. Unveiled it there. You can actually watch that unveiling on my Instagram page, I think. And then after that, we went to Daytona and we won Best Bobber at Willie's and the Cycle Source show. And Chris, Heather, and Misty shot it for Cycle Source magazine, which was cool. It's the first time I ever been in Cycle Source, so that's an honor for me. They're great people too. Put on great events. We after that we did the TMMR, Tennessee Motorcycle Music Revival. That's probably my favorite event of the year. It's a blast. It's at Loretta Lynn's Ranch in Tennessee, Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. Bill Dodge has a BC Invitational, Bling Cycles Invitational, BC Moto Invitational, and Bill selects the builders. This will be the third year we've been selected for that, but that was super cool to go down there and do that, see live music and talk choppers. And for somebody like Bill Dodge and the caliber of builder that Bill Dodge is, to think I'm good enough to be a part of his invitationals, I can't put into words how great that makes me feel. He's a super nice guy too. I love him to death. He's one of the most humble, cool characters that there is. And after that, we let's see, Tennessee. Then we did Sturgis. Sturgis was a good time. I actually had sold the bike I built in between that, so I didn't take it up there. But so let me backtrack it. In Daytona, I seen Michael Lichter, and I've always wanted to be a part of one of his exhibits in Sturgis, and he asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. I said, sure, just let me know. He said, okay, I'll let you know. And I waited and I didn't hear anything. My wife said, you going to start that bike? And I said, I'm not starting anything until I know I'm going to be a part of that show. It's going to be a lot of work. Because I usually slow building down way a lot in the summertime because I focus on it in the winter. I try to enjoy my summers. And so Michael didn't get a hold of me. It was like May 29th. And I said, we were sitting there at the table and I told the wife, I said, if I don't hear from Michael by the end of this month, I'm not building a new bike for a show. I'm just going to take one I already have. She goes, well, that's up to you. And it was like 20 minutes later, my phone rang. It was Michael Lichter. I said, you got to be kidding me. So, which is, still did the build, got the build done. It turned out awesome. He loved it. He did a 56 pan head. I did a flame job on it. The first flame job I've ever done on a bike. Out of all the bikes I've built, this is the very first flame job. So I built that bike, took it to Sturgis, was part of the Emerging Virgin show at the Buffalo Chip with a bunch of other first-time guys at his exhibit. Then after that, we came home. September, we went to the Smokeout in North Carolina. Cycle Source is putting that on now. It used to be a horse thing. Now the Cycle Source is taking it over. But it's in good. I know some guys, the old school chopper guys, from back in the day are just like, oh, it's not going to be the same. The guys, Hammer and the team from and Edge and the team from the horse, supportive of it. Hammer was there. It was the weather didn't cooperate so much, but it was still a great time. And then came home, started busting out customer stuff, and I'm just now getting finished up on some customer. I got one more customer bike to get finished up on, and then it's time to chill for a minute, breathe a little bit.
Take a deep breath, buddy. Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
So, hey, I got a favor to ask you.
What's that?
So if I build a bobber, will you introduce me to some people at some different shows that aren't all baggers and shit like that, so I can get off into the the culture side that you're in?
Yeah, I don't have a problem doing that. The thing is what I've noticed about the culture is the bagger culture is way different. Even see it in Daytona. Like the bagger culture, the guys are way different. I just don't know what it is about it. I don't know why guys are so protected, um, uh, arrogant, pissy with each other. This motorcycles, it's supposed to be about, camaraderie, brotherhood, taking care of one another. And you see these guys in pissing matches at shows or whatever. I go to a bike show. I've told you this, Kevin. I go to a bike show. I put my bike in the show. I don't care if I win. If I win, that's fine. If I don't, that's fine too. It doesn't matter to me. It's more about the camaraderie. If you really think about it, you think about the shows I've been to and the things I've done. I started my shop. I started building in probably 03, probably 03, 02, 03, full building. I've been into bikes my whole life. And just the amount of people I've met is because of motorcycles. It isn't because of, I wouldn't know you if it wasn't for motorcycles. I wouldn't know Brian Barber if it wasn't for motorcycles. Bill Dodge, Billy Lane, Warren Lane, Brock Bridges, Randy Knowledge. The list goes on. Chris and Heather from Cycle Source, Missy, Dan Starkey. The list is huge of great people I've met in my life because of motorcycles. And that's what it's supposed to be about. So I don't understand. There's drama in all of it. There's still bobber builders and chopper builders that are got big heads and they're all about the drama of it. And I just don't understand that part of it. To me,
Want me to explain it to you?
If you build something cool, I had a guy. This is how I told a guy at the bar one night. He says, "Hey man, I want you to come out and check out my bike. I really want you to see what it looks like. I want to really know what your opinion is." Cool, man. So I got there. He says, "Hey, what do you think?" I walked around it. I said, "Okay, before I tell you what I think, I want to ask you a question." He said, "What's that?" I said, "Did you build it with your two hands?" "Well, me, I have my buddy's help." "Okay, so you build it. Did you do the best you could to the best of your ability with the tools you had at your disposal?" "Yes." "Then it doesn't matter what the fuck I think about it. If you love it and you're riding it, it don't fucking matter what I think about it."
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's literally the truth.
It is. So you want to know why the bagger guys are different than your guys? I don't even know what to call your guys.
We're chopper jockeys, buddy.
Chopper jockeys. I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody, but here's the reality of what it is. It's a fad. It's a fad. Just like the big 280 rear tire choppers. They were a fad. That's all they were. Name the one bike that's been around since the beginning that is still relevant today, and I promise you, you'll understand why there's no issues with that build.
Yeah,
okay, so you didn't answer my question. You got to answer my question. Name the one bike that's from the beginning till today.
When you say the beginning, what are you calling the beginning? The beginning of bikes, period, or chopper?
No. 1940, 41, 42 was the beginning of something. What was the bike that started everything?
Oh shit, I don't know, man. Bobbers.
You've already said it. Like, there you go. Okay.
Bobbers have always, yeah.
Okay, so when all those military guys came back and Harley Davidson agreed, hey, with the contract with the military, when your guys leave the army in the war, they get to keep their bikes. Oh yeah, but we're going to teach them how to work on them. So when they get out of the war and they get out of the military, they've got their bikes, but they know how to work on them. Those guys started chopping up bikes, the choppers, the true choppers.
And they also got treated like shit when they came home. So they had, that was their brotherhood right there, right? Riding with their buddies.
So you ask, what's the difference between your group of builders and the current builders are? Your builders are the ones that started everything. And that's the one bike that's still being built today. How many years is that? 60,
Yeah.
70, 80 years?
So here's the thing, though. If you really think about choppers, Kevin, the first choppers were the board track racers, right? Those were the first choppers back in the teens and 20s. Those are the first stripped down in the 30s. Board track racing was such a fad, and everything was stripped down. Every ounce they could take off, they'd take it off just to make the bikes go faster.
Amen.
You know, but here's the other part of that, though. I'll say is when it comes to custom motorcycles. And I've said this to people before. If you get into this thinking you're going to be the next Jesse James, Billy Lane, Indian Larry, Paul Cox, I mean, that's a good admiration to have. I mean, that's the ultimate goal for any of us, is to be looked at like a legendary person like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the ultimate goal, is for somebody that follows you to look up to you and be like, holy shit, there's Indian Larry, or holy shit, there's Billy Lane, right? But you don't do this because you want that. You do this for the love of the motorcycle, the love of the machine. You build the bike because you love the bike. You ride the bike because you love the bike. You take the bike out and do the shit you do because you love the bike. Hang out with those people because you love the bikes. Yes, it hasn't got nothing to do with trophies or magazines or TV shows or grind interviews. It's literally do it because you love it. And if you're doing it for any other reason than that, you're wasting your fucking time. Off the soapbox now.
And see, and I agree 100%. And I use you as a reference. Shit, I use you a reference 3 or 4 times a year because I say that over and over. But when you but back to the whole bagger scene, you don't know why these guys act the way they do. It's because they're doing the fad. They're doing what's popular today. And you mark my words, the next fad that's going to come, I don't know what it's going to be. I'm not a psychic. I couldn't begin to tell you, but they're going to jump to that fad also. And when they jump to that fad, they're not builders. They're people that want to own something. And let's face it.
Yeah, I was going to say that I wouldn't sit there and classify the baggers as the whole group. It's a slim few. And most of the guys who have the problem aren't the guys that built the bikes. Like, I'm friends with Curly. When I see him at a show, me and him have a great time. You know, I get along great with him.
I agree 100%. You can't categorize everybody into that.
Not at all.
But the majority you can, because it's the culture of the majority that is bringing all this shit. I mean, dude, how have you even been to a stereo competition, honestly?
I walked up to one down in Jonesboro. The Jonesboro, Indiana has the river rally, and me and the wife were walking through it. And I walked up and it started, and I turned around and walked away.
It's not.
I'm just not. It's not. I don't get anything against it. It's just not my thing.
I don't know, bro. It's not. I don't know. So I just got a notification. Oh crap. We only get to record for 30 minutes. So finish up what you want to be in that interview. Let me know. You only got about 45 seconds.
Oh, I just want everybody to check out some of the shows we're going to be a part of this year. You know, TMMR is going to be coming up next. It's going to be a great show. And if anybody can make it down, we'll be there. Bill Dodge will be there. A lot of other builders will be there, and hope they can make it out and check out the show.
Right on. Cool. So that's what's going to be that first 30 minutes just now. That's what we're going to put up. We're going to edit and put onto YouTube. Y'all be sure to go watch it next week. The interview, the good interview, ain't over yet. We're fixing to get into that. This is just the part that's going to be going on to YouTube. So this is going to stop in just 2 seconds. And when it does, you and I can continue on. There it goes. Cool. Got it. Okay. So, all right. So there you go. Now that we're going to take that first half, we're going to edit that down, and we're going to put that video up on YouTube. The one we're doing right now, finish up what you got to say. You got 30 more minutes.
Oh man, I'm good. I just wanted to make sure I get my issue out there and make sure people were aware. That was the biggest thing, and let people know about the shows that we have up and coming. I was a guy that couldn't go to all the shows when I first started my shop. Hell, when I met Brian Barber, Brian had like this triaxle car trailer with a whole fucking wall that opened up. And I walked in with a card table and a banner and a box of t-shirts, you know what I mean? He had a popcorn machine and a pizza oven and a couch, carpet.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, Brian taught me a lot about how to set up for a show. But, I started doing those things just for the love of the bikes. And I couldn't go to the shows. I went to Columbus Easy Rider Show every year. It was close to me. I had young kids. I had gotten divorced. I was building bikes, trying to build my business. I wanted to go to Daytona ever since I've been 18 years old. I just could never physically go. Dad duty before any duty, right? That's how any
Amen.
dad should be. So I love my kids to death. And I'll be 100% honest with you, dude. My kids, they sacrificed a lot of time with me so I could do this. And I'm not proud of that. There's sometimes I probably should have refocused my priorities, but I never got to go to Daytona and Sturgis and those things. So after my kids were raised, I started doing those things. Of course, I love that stuff, right? I'm like, yeah, I love doing this. Kids are raised, everything's good. Boom, here's 3 grandsons. So I still want to do this stuff, but I love hanging out with them too. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of, for anybody that has a passion for it, if you don't go to Sturgis, it's okay. If you don't go to Daytona, it's okay. It's always, it's a blast to go to that stuff. But Kevin, you know as well as anybody, it's expensive.
Yes.
It's expensive. Not just to get there, it's expensive to be there.
Be there. Just to be there. And it's expensive even if you eat the hot dogs from the corner gas stations. It's still expensive just to be there. But dude, you're talking about some stuff now. So I don't know. Do you ever see the guy Ringo Eric Zagaja from Africa?
I think, did you post some of his stuff once?
Yeah. So
I seen that. Well, just scrolling, man. But I'll be honest with you, I really try to stay up with some things, but with the shop and I work full time still in my shop and trying to balance everything else. I mean, I watch TV with my wife for an hour at night, and then I go to bed and get up and do it again. So I don't get to watch a lot of that stuff.
Well, the only thing I was saying is that he, dude, when it comes to what you were talking about, doing it for the right reasons, he's the guy. His shop is a lean-to. It's a lean-to, bro. He works in the mud and the dirt.
Oh, wow.
And he builds his own frames. He builds his own gas tanks. And I know there are people out there that would see what he builds and they'd be like, man, what's special about that? Well, it's special because he has nothing that you have. Right. He doesn't have the grinders that you have. He doesn't have the welders you have. And this dude has such a positive outlook and positive attitude. I wish there was a way that I could get him to come to, like Galveston Rally or go to Sturgis or Daytona or come be a part of what he's actually basically killing himself to make.
He's basically on an island, like legit. Like he's out there and nobody else is really doing it. So you don't have like all the custom shows and all the equipment and all that. So he's like literally doing it like on his own, deserted.
That's right, dude. And he builds bikes with I want to say they're 150cc motors, but they're choppers, and he saw Eric Contreras build some trikes. So now he's building a trike. And my point is that when you look at somebody that literally, do you think you could build one of your bikes outside in the dirt with a tarp roof and a stick welder? Could you weld your gas tanks together with a stick welder?
Yeah, I prefer not to do that.
He does that.
Right.
And the shit works.
Yeah.
And when I hear people talking and you're talking about passion and you're talking about, you've been doing this for literally 20 years now. And you were talking about, I started out with a card table and a 10x10 pop-up tent. And then you saw Brian in this, 3-axle monster with couches.
No, I didn't have a pop-up tent. I just had a table and a banner and a box of t-shirts. I didn't have a pop-up tent. 2 fold-up chairs. I had 2 fold-up chairs.
But it's Ringo Eric I can't say his last name. Anyway, my whole point is that when you talk about somebody that has that passion and that desire to just be, he's that dude. He's the dude that's building bikes because he loves to build, but he also teaches a class on welding. He also gives back to his kids and the community. Cool. And he does so many cool things. Well, anyway, I would love to find a way to get him over stateside, but I have no clue or concept where to start with it. If anybody knows how, y'all let me know, man. Message me. But back to you and what you're doing. Spin around, because I want to see that little chopper you just built, that red and white one.
It's red and silver.
Is it silver? Because in the video it looks white as shit to me.
All right, hold on.
Dude, I love that bike. Dude, where can I get heavier gauge springs for heavier set guys?
Bare Knuckle Performance.
Bare Knuckle Performance. Okay.
Yeah, Paul over there at Bare Knuckle Performance. He's a big dude. And you think you're a big dude. Paul's a monster of a man. And he builds them out of
bigger than I am.
Huh?
You're bigger than I am.
How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot. You're like 6'1", 6'2".
No, I'm 6 foot.
Hey, I've got a picture of you and me standing side by side. Then maybe I'm 5'10" and didn't know it.
Yeah.
Bare Knuckle.
6 foot tall, middle-aged, tattooed fat man, buddy.
Hey, we are a lot alike, except you have hair and I don't.
But yeah, Bare Knuckle Performance. Bare Knuckle Paul, he's like 6'7".
Jesus.
He's 6'7" and solid as a rock, man. He should have been a professional wrestler if bike thing didn't work out.
Well, I need some.
He does them out of stainless steel and some other options. He makes them for big men.
Right on. I needed a hookup for that too. He said, my boy knocked it out of the park once again. Will everybody get on here and pray for Brian Barber? He is not feeling well. It ain't my business, but I love him to death. Y'all keep him in your prayers. He's sick.
Again? Thought he just got over being sick.
He did, but it's sinuses and other issues. I don't want to blab what's wrong.
He just went and did that family thing, and now he's not feeling good. And we went to Mexico first of the year for a family thing. And when I came back from Mexico, I had a sinus infection. So I know what the man's feeling.
Yes, that's so funny. He said I'm goofy. Man, I care about this dude. And he calls me goofy.
He'll be all right.
Yeah.
But no, man. I have just those shows and people like I've been trying to work away here lately, and I probably shouldn't, but I am. Like I told you earlier, I bought a plasma table. I cut one thing on because I'm so busy with bike stuff, and I've really got to get refocused and get some things. I don't do service work. I've taken a little bit of it on to pay off my building, but other than that, I'm not taking on any. I'm just going to work on the fabrication of my line of custom parts. And I did buy I bought a Sugar Bear Springer from Sugar Bear. I'm looking forward to build. It's a 20 over. I'm looking forward to building another long bike. I haven't built a long bike in a long time. So I'm going to do a Kickstarter, only shovel head in that, but that won't be till the fall. So, but yeah, man, it's like I said, there is when it comes to builders, I've met some bobber builders or chopper builders or whatever you want to call us, chopper jockeys, super nice dudes. But we have ours too. I've met some real assholes too. You know, the guys I'm like, okay, I don't even like that guy. I had a kid walk up to me. I'm not going to say who he is. He's a good dude. And he come up to me and he had been drinking and he said, hey man, I owe you an apology. And I said, for what? And he said, I see you in Daytona walking around looking at bikes with your wife and your sunglasses. And you don't like talk to anybody. You're just quiet. And he said, I always thought you were an arrogant asshole. I'm like, no, man. I said, I'm a confident asshole, I guess. But I said, no, if you want it, you should come up and talk to me. He goes, well, I got a different opinion of you now. So now I make it a point every time I see him somewhere to go talk to him. and he's young and he's up and coming and building some really cool stuff. But it's, when it comes to the bobber world, if I was to ask you right now, who's the best chopper builder right now in the country, who would you say?
Would I hurt your feelings if I said it wasn't you?
No, it ain't me. I know it ain't me.
Josh Allison.
Yeah, I would. Josh does good stuff. I honestly think in the day right now, I don't think anybody can touch Rick Bray. And Rick Bray's on fire, man. The shit he's putting out. He's doing
I don't see any of his stuff come across my feed. I used to see it, but I don't see it now.
But he's building a Velasco flag. You know who Johnny Velasco was? Johnny Chop.
Mm-hmm.
Like he actually got to meet Johnny Chop's mom, and like that bike that Johnny built is like Johnny's urn.
Yeah.
And like he's building a bike that's the exact or as close to it as a kind of a tribute to him type of deal. And that thing is insane. And he's building it all, the wheels and everything. The thing is fucking nuts.
Really?
You know? And then Brock Bridges from Bridges Fabrication, dude, that kid, he just did a bike they call, I think it's Freakenstein. Look it up on BC Moto Invitational or Brock's Mad Fab Instagram page. I think it's got an Evo rear cylinder or Evo cylinder and a shovel head cylinder and a magneto. Thing's just fucking nuts. And he built the frame out of stainless and built the Springer, built the gas tank, built the whole fucking thing. And he's like not even 30.
Really?
He is fucking insane. I'm always impressed with everything he did. He did a divorce. You know what a divorcer is?
A divorcer?
Yeah.
No.
That's where, like the Ironhead Sportster, you cut the transmission off of it and then run a big twin transmission behind it. He has one he did with a stainless frame that was on the cover of Cycle Source. And he did an actual, he divorced it, put dual carbs on it. Fucking thing is nuts. The kid's talented as hell. I build cool bobbers. I mean, I think what I build's cool, but those guys, those two guys I just talked about are far, way above and beyond me. Another friend of mine that's been killing it here lately is Johnny Humphrey, Johnny 99. That guy's been doing some killer shit. I mean, he just built a long bike for the smokeout that was awesome. It's just reminds you of the old school chopper stuff. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's still guys out there doing it. The one thing I do want to talk about real quick, I told you about this earlier. People who are getting bike stuff done, like go to somebody that knows, because I am so like over people bringing me stuff that's just a basket case. Okay, they wrote it in, but they shouldn't have been writing it, or it's put together poorly. I mean, or if you're building the bike, safety first. It can look cool, but it has to be safe and function. Like you can't get hurt on it. That's not the goal. So make sure it's safe. If you don't know how to do something or don't know something will work, have somebody you do know have faith in look at it. Because here lately, I've been getting some work in that I can't even believe that people are actually taking people's money for. I'm not perfect. I mean, I definitely don't do everything I do it my way. It's a chopper, right? I do it how I want to do it. That's why I say in my videos when I do it, there's always one guy who has to post and say, oh, well, you did that wrong. Or you're TIG welding and there's a gas can in the background. And, I'm sorry you're still living in your mom's basement and have nothing else to do, but look at my background and my pictures to critique everything I'm doing. But safety is first. So, I mean, these guys that are getting their bikes done or building their bikes really need to focus on that aspect of it. You don't want to see anybody getting hurt. Mount your fenders properly. You don't throw your wife on the back of a bike with brass quarter 20 bolts holding it on. So that's definitely something that needs to be addressed, I think, with anybody that's building, because everybody and anybody's building bikes nowadays.
So it's weird to me. So there's so much when you talk about building anything, a go-kart, a car, a truck, a motorcycle, it doesn't matter what you build. What drives me nuts is when you see guys go to the hardware store and they'll buy a bolt, any bolt, as long as it fits the hole. but the bolt's not rated for what they're going to use it for. And they wonder why bolts shear off.
I do industrial maintenance for a living. And when I get a new guy in, I ask them, do you know how to check the bolt grade? And they're like, well, I've had guys say, what do you mean? And I'll show them the head of the bolt and say, these lines mean something.
That's right.
They're telling you something, you
And,
know?
and it's okay if you don't know.
Yeah, but look it up.
Teach you. Let me show you what, so you'll know in the future. That's one of the things with building bikes. I love this. Dude, I could give you a person's name right now that actually said this to me. So I had a question, a simple question about a bagger, because I had never done this particular thing before. And you know what their reply to me was? Questions are irrelevant. Their reply to me was very simple. Well, you're a bike builder. Don't you know that?
Yeah, that's that shit I'm talking to you about earlier.
Figure it out. I did.
Yeah. That's the shit I was talking to you about earlier. I literally was at Willie's. This is not about building a bike, but I was at Willie's Chopper Time, and this old cat came rolling in on a I think it was a Road Glide. He was probably in his mid to late 60s. Looked like he'd had some health issues, but he comes rolling in and he whipped like a Yui to back his bike in, and he was in the grass and he couldn't back it up. And he said, "Hey, can I get a hand here?" And I was already walking towards him, and this young kid says that if you're old enough, if you're man enough to ride it, you ought to be a man enough to back it up. And I walked over and I pushed his bike back a little bit for him. He goes, "Hey man, thanks." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Don't worry about it." I said, "Those young bucks will be here soon enough, you know." I mean, yeah. I got friends, dude. I'm 47, and I have friends I went to high school with that have passed away. I got people I went to high school with that have passed away. I mean, how my dad passed away when I was 35, or when he was 35. I was 16. I mean, there's no time for that kind of ignorant shit. Like, this is something simple. My grandfather told me when I was little, he said, every man deserves to be treated like a man until he shows you different.
Amen.
That's one. And the other thing he always told me, he said, when you're 80 years old, you'll count your true friends in life on two hands. You know, if you have 10, you're lucky. And I have a lot of friends, but I mean, I'm talking friends you can trust with your wife, your kids, your money, your house, your bikes, everything, you know?
Yeah, that's
but
right.
I think if people would step back and think about, it's not hard, right? Like grandma said, treat people like you want to be treated. Like it's that easy. Have regard for people, have passion for people. It's not that difficult. I mean, you look at like the division in our country right now, and I'm not going to get into politics or anything like that by no means. It's funny because, well, it's not funny, it's sad. When them planes hit the Twin Towers, nobody gave a shit what color anybody was.
Nope.
It was like us against the whole fucking world if that's what needed to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna let the news and some other things that we won't get into, you know, that are constantly trying to cause division, and I just don't get it. So I'm getting off that soapbox now too.
Well, no, that's actually a good soapbox to be on because that applies to so many different things in life. The time that it takes, like I commute to my day job every day, 5:30 in the morning. I hate it. I hate the freeway. I hate being on the freeway because people change when they're on the freeways and they're open roads. They're such dicks and assholes to the point that I followed one of the vehicles that was just driving like an ass all the way into the plant. And it was a contractor. He pulls in, so he's driving into the plant. I park my truck, get into my work truck, and I get right in behind him, and I followed him all the way to where his laydown yard was. And I pulled up behind him. He gets out of his truck, and I get out. Of course, I'm a company man because I work for the company.
Right.
And he was just like, "Oh, what's up, sir? What's going on?" I was like, "Oh, so you are a nice guy." He goes, well, yeah, what would make you think different? I said, being such a dick on the fucking freeway, cutting me off, shooting me the finger, and all the shit you just did to me on the freeway getting to this job. But now I'm standing in front of you and we're at work. Now all of a sudden you've got all kinds of respect in the world for me. And you don't know me from Adam. How about you do that out there? Because out there where it matters. In here, it doesn't matter so much. We're not going to kill each other with vehicles.
Yeah, you got to watch what toes you step on in life. They might be connected to an ass you got to kiss someday.
Amen. And it's crazy. And to be truthful, I'm guilty of it. I'm just as guilty as
everybody's guilty of it. So I have to put myself in check sometimes. I mean, everybody. The thing is learning when it's happening. You know what I mean? I get pissed off when I'm driving, and here's the thing. Ever since COVID, everybody thinks, because everybody had all the social distancing, they think I'm more important than any other motherfucker in here on the planet. I'm the one that's important because we've literally taught ourselves that over that whole year. They worry about you. Don't leave your house and do your shit. Like, don't worry. Go to the gas station. It's like a transactional thing now. It isn't the little old lady saying, "Good morning, honey. How you doing?" You know, or even opening a door for somebody. It's today's, the way we treat each other today completely blows my mind when it's something as simple as opening the door for somebody, or actually, good morning. You know, something simple like that. Somebody could be having the shittiest day. And I tell the guys that used to work for me, or that still work for me, if a guy's being an asshole, don't be an asshole back. You don't know, he might have caught his wife messing around. His pops could be sick. You don't know what's going on in his life, because everybody you see has something going on in their life, right? Everybody's got some fucked up situation they're dealing with.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be that, if you want to help somebody, try to help them through what the issue right now is, and it'll help subside the everything else, because everybody's dealing with something.
Amen. So Brian has commented 4 or 5 times about, tell him my favorite chopper builder is John Dotson.
Oh God, why has he got to be like that? John's all right. Jesus.
Because it's Brian.
Yeah. John's all right. That goes back to that fucking bagger chopper jockey shit back in the day. That's what that goes back to.
Well, between you and Brian, I've heard so many stories about John Dotson that I feel like I've already met the guy.
I don't have a problem with John. John had a fuck bagger shirt for sale at a bike show we were at right beside Brian's booth, and Brian didn't take it very fucking kindly years ago, and it kind of escalated out that, and then John kind of showed his ass at a show one time a little bit. And some of it was because of all the shit everybody was giving him, I think. But I don't have a problem with John. John's all right. He just Brian hasn't Brian ain't letting it go.
He ain't letting it go.
He's not letting it go at all.
Well, so here's what we could take away from this. I don't care what kind of bike you build. Every genre of bike that you're going to build, there's going to be the good guys and the bad guys. It's just life. There's going to be fads come and go. That's just the way it is. You know, I could list off a handful of people that behind me, and I've got pictures of them all on this wall behind me, behind the banner, that I guarantee you 70% of the guys hanging up there were true just assholes. But
yeah, there's a few big names that I've met that are real assholes. I mean, there is, but for the most part, I haven't had to deal with that.
Well, I think it goes back to what you said a minute ago, the way that you respond, the way that you act. You never know what someone's going through at that exact minute. That person may have had some shit on their mind and didn't mean to be an asshole. You know what I'm saying?
But what I've always thought is, if I meet somebody, or if I want to meet somebody and I meet them and they end up being kind of a dick, I give them a pass, right? I might walk away and say, well, that guy's a fucking asshole. But the next time I see him, I'm going to go up and say hi to him again. And I'm going to say hi to him and stay in his face and stay hi to him. Not like in his face aggressively. I'm just going to make my presence known to him every time I'm there. That's my confidence. Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to let you being a dick push me away. That's not happening.
Yeah.
You know, I heard a thing the other day. A guy was talking. It was a kind of a motivational speaker type deal, and he said he came home from work one day after college, and he was having a bad day, and he told his granddad about it, and he said his friend was upsetting him, this, that, and the other. Long story short, his granddad asked him. He said, "Hey, man, look at it like this. Anytime you spend time with somebody, when you're done spending time with them, if you're relieved or like, oh, God damn, I'm glad that's done, that person's a negative drain on your life. If they pull away and you're like, man, I had a blast with Kevin. I can't wait till I can get down here and see him again. Cool. That's what you want to do. But if you like aren't happy to see somebody, or you look at the phone when they call and you're like, oh, fuck, that person's negative. You got to cut the weight, man. That has to happen like that. And people will get so wrapped up in the negativity because they don't want people to say, you know, I don't want you to think bad of me. I don't want that friend to be mad at me. Listen, you can only be yourself, and you can only be real. And some people don't like the truth. Most people don't like the truth. Tell people, I've said this before. They say, Jeremy, what do you think? You want to know what I think? You want me to tell you what you want to hear?
Yeah.
Two different things. So, but those things, man, no matter what, whether it's professionally, it's bike builders. Like I said, there's plenty of them that are, their egos are bigger than the state you live in. But at the end of the day, you're either good people or you're bad people, man. That's it.
I think a lot of it has to do with, so I could name names, but I'm not going to because I'm trying.
Yeah, don't do that. There ain't no need in doing that.
But there's people out there that get in their own way. They do it to themselves. They get in their own way. You can be as nice to them as you want to be. You can be as complimentary. Like the guy asked you, hey, you know, what do you think about my build? Well, here's the deal. If you built it for this, this, and this, then what I think should not matter to you whatsoever. But if you want my real honest opinion, I'll give you some constructive criticism and tell you, as a builder,
and that's what we did
for years.
In that situation, that's what we did, you know.
You know, when I see people do flames on paint jobs, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. And I'm not saying that I'm good at it, but I've got seats that I've sewn together that have better flames on them than paint jobs. And when you tell somebody, hey, I'm only telling this because I want you to get better at what you do, there are people out there that they don't give a shit. The fact that you don't think what they did was badass, they're going to hate you. And believe you, bro, after 4.5 years of doing this show, I got some haters. I could name them. I can name them straight away.
I'm sure I got plenty of haters too, man. I just don't let that negative shit bother me, you know.
But it doesn't bother me either. And I still try to help them even now, even though I know they don't like me, I would still lend a hand to help them. And
absolutely,
that's my piece. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is it ain't your burden to carry, right?
Yeah.
It's theirs. So, you know, it's back in the day when we were doing all the Cycle Fest shows. I mean, we were, like Brian said before, like we were literally on tour because we were every different city every other weekend, and it was a lot. Yeah. And it was a good time. And you look back in the 90s and 2000s, there were so many bike shops. You could buy all these parts on eBay, and everybody was trying to become a dealer and open up a shop and this, that, and the other. And then you get to now, I mean, I got posters on my wall of guys that aren't even doing it anymore. You know, they're gone. I mean, so you got to. Billy Lane told me when I was younger, when I met him, he said, "Keep your shop small where you can manage it yourself. Don't try to get too big." And I've taken that to heart, and I've done it that way, and it's been working. You know, yeah, I still work full time and everything, but I just, in my heart of hearts, again, I do it because I love it. And to get a young kid that's focused on his build or his project, I've told guys before who do they do an awesome job fabricating everything. The bike will be all nice and good looking, everything's great, and they put some slap ass flat black rattle can paint job on there. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is that? Why didn't you? Well, I didn't have the money. Okay, well, are you going to paint it? Because let's be honest, I'm a fabricator. I build shit. The first thing somebody notices when they walk into a show, the first thing somebody notices when they walk out of a bar, restaurant, whatever, is what?
The paint job.
That paint job. If that paint job doesn't punch you in the mouth, you don't care anything else about it. You got to be a gearhead to know it's a K model that's in a Sportster frame, or it's a pan head, or it's a pan shovel. You have to be a gearhead for that. But you could have a 1936 knucklehead sitting right there, man, like pristine showroom out front of a restaurant, and you come pulling up on one of Curly's bikes. Anybody who's not a gearhead don't give a fuck about that knucklehead. Even though the knucklehead's worth 150 grand.
Yeah.
Right? But they have no idea. So that's the thing. And that's okay. But I just don't understand why people do all the work and just skimp on something as simple as $1,000, $2,000 paint job. Even if it's at their local body shop, the guy does it. I mean, it's better than a rattle can.
Yeah. So did you see what Brian just said? He said all painters suck.
That's just because he's saying that so everybody brings their shit to him.
No, I think he actually got his feelings hurt because the other day I said something. I was like, man, fucking all painters suck.
Well, I don't think all painters suck, but I've yet to meet but only a handful of painters that can meet their deadlines. I'll say that.
Well, see, that's the politest way to say it. But me, dude, I was just in a moment, and I even told him when I said, I was like, I'm not talking about you. You don't suck, but you know, what do you say? I love painters. Painters keep my blood pressure where it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I mean, I usually am pretty good about making it clear. I give Brian a deadline on my green chopper. I told him, I said, hey man, I need this by this month. And he ran into some issues and was late a little bit. He did all right. He got here, the frame, I was still mocking it up. The frame was raw. He's like, what the fuck was the hurry? I said, I wanted it done.
He said, I wanted it done. So if I would have told you, you got about 2.5 months to get it done.
That means in painters' terms, painters work in dog years. So if you say 2.5 months, that means like 8 months.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna call me tomorrow and be like, "What the fuck, man? Dude, you know we love you. We just give you shit."
No, I'll be honest. I fabricate stuff, and people are like, "Man, how'd you make that do that? You know, how'd you bend that like that?" And I watch guys like Brian, Brian can do all the airbrushing and everything, and I sit back and watch him do that, and I'm like, dude, I don't have the fucking patience for that shit.
No. And he showed me something a couple months ago. He goes, all right, man, I just want your opinion. Dude, he showed me something that he airbrushed, and I was like, what the what?
Yeah, I mean, it's so tedious.
Because it was amazing. And I'm giving him the credit because the fact that he asked me, I was flattered that he asked me for my opinion like it matters. But the fact that he had to ask, I was like, dude, somebody that damn good, why would you ever have to ask anybody? You can see the same thing I see.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. He's an artist, right? I'm an artist. You're a seat artist. I'm an artist. You're a bike builder artist. Brian's a builder. Brian, if you're any true artist, it wants to have
confirmation.
Well, I wouldn't say not confirmation. I'd call it more like wants to be recognized by his peers. And anybody who says, yep, I can't paint anything. That's the best paint job I can ever do. That's the most perfect motorcycle. That's a perfect seat. Nobody can ever do any better than that. It's perfect. You're lying to yourself because there's some kid in a barn somewhere who's building something that's going to take him 6 years. That's going to knock the socks off everybody. So that's the artist in him or in you. I mean, I look at, you love that panhead bike, right? You think that bike's cool. I can show you everything wrong with it in like 5 seconds. It's not my best, but I don't think anybody, I think you have like everybody has like a Mona Lisa. When you get to the point you build 10, 20 motorcycles, 30 motorcycles, there's the one bike that everybody remembers, man, that's the Mona Lisa, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't think, if you just think that you don't need to get better, then you should just stop.
Yeah, you should just be done right then.
Be done.
Second, you should stop what you're doing because everything that made you want to do what you're doing is gone. It's out of you. You're empty.
100%.
I could not agree with that one phrase more. That's why I'm so glad Brian got to go on a vacation on a boat and he couldn't talk on the phone. He couldn't do anything but hang out with his wife and relax. Everybody needs that re-energization.
Well, you forgot one thing with all that, Kevin. Now, you forgot one thing.
What?
If he was on that boat, right?
Yeah.
When he got back, when he went off the ship, his ass was on time to the ship, or they left his ass there. So for the first time in Brian Barber's life, he was on fucking time.
Well, he had to be on time quite a few times because all.
That's what I'm saying. He can thank. I'm sure he can thank Heather for that. But in all honesty, he was finally on time for once in his life.
Oh, that's fucking awesome, dude. I'm so happy. There was a study done. I saw it on of all places, Facebook, that people that are late live longer and are healthier.
Why do you think that is?
Because they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck that they're late. They don't give a fuck if you're mad that they're late.
That's right.
We did a CycleFest show in Fort Wayne, and I lived about 45 minutes, an hour away from there. And we went out and drank like idiots and got stupid drunk. And we all woke up at my house, partied till 3 a.m. The show started, I think, at like 10, and we all come walking in at 1. All hungover. Brian's going to drive back to Ohio. We all wake up and we're like, oh, fuck, it's 11:30. And we have an hour drive to get to the show. You know, and we didn't give a fuck that we were late. We've been sitting there for 2 days anyway. But yeah, I mean, Brian's late a lot, though. Sometimes I think Brian's late on purpose.
Fashionably late.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it when he actually tells you with a straight face, and I believe him because I'm very similar to him in this for this thing. He has the best intent, dude. I will be there at 5:00. Brian's gotten to the point with me now because I call so often. He's like, dude, I'll just fucking be there when I get there. How about that? I'm not giving you any time frames.
Yeah, it's all right though. We love him for it.
Absolutely. If he was on time on a regular basis, I don't think I would like it. I think.
Well, the thing is if he said he's going to be there, then he is going to be there.
That's right. That's one thing for sure. If he says he's going to be there, he's going to be there. When he's going to be there, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, dude. Well, man, thank you for another kick-ass interview. Just talking with me tonight. I appreciate it. It makes the show.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me on. I just wanted to make sure people knew what was going on with the with all the stolen identity stuff, and make sure people were aware of some of the shows we'll be doing this year. And if you guys get up on my way or whatever, hit me up. I know Brian's been on me to come down there. If I get some free time, maybe I can do that. We were talked about coming down there last year, but family weddings and all that shit. So
yeah. Well, I do know one thing's for sure. I'd like to get up there and but yeah, we do. We need to get together at some point in time, whether it's down here or up there, over there. It doesn't matter. Definitely got to get together. One time in Daytona ain't enough. But dude, anytime you need anything, reach out. Let me know. The platform's here for you anytime you need it.
I appreciate it, buddy. You take care of yourself. Thanks for watching.
All right, guys. Thank you, bud. Have a good night.
Yep, later.
There you go, everybody. Another kick-ass interview with Jeremy Valentine, Joker Cycle Works. I appreciate it. I didn't get to do my normal shout-outs to everybody, so everybody, thank you for watching. Again, one last note before we get off here. Everybody, please keep Tim Nagy and his wife in your prayers. She is going through some stuff, and y'all know how we roll over here. We all pray for her, make sure she's okay. Pray for the doctors and everything. Just keep them both in your prayers. But you guys go have a great night, man. Remember what I said. This video will be edited and redone on YouTube next week with all the dead space taken out of it. Y'all guys go over to the YouTube channel. It's the Grind Biker Build Off on YouTube. Let me know what you think about the channel. Subscribe to it. Hit the little bell. Get the notifications when we go live, post videos. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff over there in the near future. But anyway, you guys go have a kick-ass night, and we will see y'all next Thursday.